T-Bitch. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Vince Green.
And I'm a dickhead.
Jesus Christ, dude. And this is Invasion of Body Snatchers. Let's get to it, motherfuckers. Nah, nah, nah.
Inside joke.
All right, no, we're back, and this time I brought you along for a crazy motherfucking thrill ride, directed by James Wan, the man that has conjured up some insidious fucking insanity, and this time he conjures up his most insidious insanity, and that is in the shape of this backward martial arts and motherfucking kung fu movie, Malignant. What do you think of this fucking insane fest?
Well, I think it's fair to say that you suggested this, and I suppose the first thing I would say is, Vinny, am I a joke to you?
And like I do the really laugh. Do you see his face in that scene? He's like, oh, and then
yeah, such a meme, like where he's like,
yeah, and he fucking leaps on him like, oh,
man,
there's a bunch of good fellas. Is all I'm saying.
I was just watching this, and this, I honest to God feel like it was, you know, they'd already made a movie that day, and they said, shit, oh fuck, dude, we're supposed to make 2 movies, and it's like, dude, I am tired. It's like, all right, no, we can bang this out in an hour, like an hour and a half movie in an hour. I don't know. It's like a hospital. It's like the lights are like going on and off, and like and they're all like scared. There's like a demon, and then somebody says something like, "We're going to cut out the cancer." But we could just probably use that 15, 16 times, and you know, like it was just. This
is the premise of this movie. This is the premise of this movie.
The premise of this movie.
James Wan sat down. This is how he pitched this movie. He goes, "Oh, I'm thinking of doing a movie, something a little different." They're like, "What?" He goes, "Imagine if cancer gave you superpowers."
God, that's exactly what this film was. But I mean, when it went supernatural, I thought, all right, go supernatural, because that's what I thought it was. I thought it was a super, like, for most of this movie, I thought her imaginary friend was a demon.
Yeah.
Like, so as a kid, like, she could hear the voices, but this was an actual demon that she could hear. That's all it was. It wasn't imaginary. It was a demon. But then it turned out to be a tumor that lived on her back,
carcinoma or something.
And it was also like the devil, and it had superpowers, but it was also like something that could be explained within science, but not really. And it was actually both, but sometimes neither.
It consumed her unborn fetuses
even though for sustenance, and it dislocated every limb in her body every time it took over, like knees. Imagine what it had to do to the knees. Like, forget about dislocating your shoulders. Imagine what it had to do to your kneecaps. You know?
The backward martial arts. Oh my god,
the backward martial art, and obviously it also knew karate.
Yeah, like wait, what? How does it give her superpowers?
But that's the thing. It's the supernatural. Oh my god, it was such a mess. Oh, don't get me wrong. I was wildly entertained when the whole jail killing every woman in the cell and then killing all the cops. I was wildly because I had given up in this film to such a degree that I was just like, yeah, just do it. Just do it. It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, man, I went to see this movie in the theater, and literally, it was one of the few horror movies that I'm I'm belly laughing in the middle of the fucking movies. Like, everybody's like, ugh, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, did I just take a stroke and this is my hallucination? Like,
especially with the dead woman's expression on the back of the head. You know, that's what makes it hilarious. Like, because.
Oh man, it's just so like it's new. I'll give it that. We're talking about new like we're looking.
Oh no, fuck! I hate myself for having to say this, but I can't disagree with that as a point. I want to.
It's not good.
It's not good. No, if you're going to, like, I mean, I feel like you know that kind of like, oh, am I technically correct kind of questions where you kind of go like, no, I feel like you're trapping me into saying something I don't want to say, but at the same time, to answer your question as you put it, no, it was new. But even like what, like also, what's the story with the back of her skull? Is like that's fine. That her just opens, like tears open, and she wakes up the next day and she's like, "Oh,
she's Voldemort."
Oh, it's complete Voldemort. Man. It's it tried to be. I don't know. At the very end, it was just such a. And can we talk for 1 second about the Wanda Sykes wannabe sidekick?
The blonde girl.
No, the cop's partner.
Oh,
and she was like, "Oh, so you're telling me there's going to be the boogeyman? You're telling me it's going to be like..." And she was just like, in just kind of like that very absolute corner of the market that Wanda Sykes owns.
Yeah.
And she just seemed to try and inhabit that energy. And she was like, so we're looking for an imaginary friend. So I'm telling you, there's just like, and we get it, you're the naysayer.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Because, of course, I'd be the naysayer if this was happening. And I would 100% be the naysayer. I'm completely down with naysayers. But at the same time, it's just like, oh, God, no, this is like the spiral of like, actually, I was about to say, I didn't take out that sentence because
you thought it was from a franchise. Yeah.
Because what do you put this in? Like, what heading do I put this under? I don't know.
Like,
I give it. I don't know.
I'll applaud James Wan because he's always trying to do new things, different things.
Yes,
he's always trying to.
And in their last 2 podcasts, both negatively and positively, we have both addressed the issue of just whether it works or not, trying something new, and the fallbacks of not doing that at all. Of trying to slip into the warm but already used bath of old fucking ideas. Yeah. So I'll give James Wan that as well.
Yeah, like I'll give him that one. But I just think the major issue with this movie is just that like it just didn't like fucking settle on a tone. Like it want you know what I mean? Like,
such an understatement. It's a good point and such an understatement. Yeah, I mean, like sometimes somebody says something to you and you're like, you know what? That's a real thinker. That's why I like talking to movie aficionados that make me think about things different ways. No, that was just like, yes. Yes, it did not settle on its own. That's just a very fair statement.
Like, as I can remember, when I threw it on, I only watched it earlier on today, same as you, before we start recording. And within the first 5 minutes, I'm laughing my ass off when they do this close-up shot of your one and like the doctor, and she's like, "I guess it's time to cut out the cancer." And like James Wan's like, "To gate, cut it. That's it. That's a wrap. That's all we need.
That's all we need.
That's my prime time, baby."
Yeah. It's time to cut. Okay, you know what? I would. Except that I'm not going to. I'm far too lazy. I wish I had when I was watching it, because I'm not going to do it again. Yeah. How many times was "it's time to cut out the cancer" said in that film? And I'm going to take a wild stab at it. And if somebody who listens to this, I'm going to say 11. There, just 11. There, off the cuff.
Yeah, well,
about times. It's time to cut out the cancer. Doctor, I guess it's time to cut out the cancer.
And she didn't really cut out the cancer. All she did was...
And he was actually, at one point, literally cancer, and they tried to cut him out. So it wasn't even like one of these, like, it's just been revoked moments. It was just like, yes, we have to do a cancer-removing surgery.
Yeah, I just think the movie... like. At times, I didn't know if it was taking itself too seriously or if it didn't take itself seriously enough. And at times, it just looked like a prolonged music video for the Pixies. Where's my mind? You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
where is my mind?
Yeah. I think it's so important that people have to understand now that when the way you pair certain music with certain scenes and the way you use your soundtrack and your score and attach it to your movies and what's going on screen, you actually have to put a bit of thought into it. You can't just go, "Oh, do you know what song I like? I like this, so I'm going to just play it in every fucking scene." Every scene, it's got like literally, you have to understand that there's certain times where you need to use music and there's certain times where there's no need for music. And people have to understand that when you're having just a straight up dialogue scene, a lot of the times there's no need for fucking music. You don't need to set the tone because the dialogue's supposed to be setting the tone. And sometimes the dialogue's getting drowned out by unnecessary background music. And then that whole Pixies thing, like every single time there was supposed to be a scene of significance, he just fucking played the Pixies on a loop. Like, because like, it's the Pixies that, isn't it? Where's my mind? Isn't it? It's like, I just don't understand why that song was chosen, because it didn't really suit the movie, and it didn't really.
There is this thing. I think like Quentin Tarantino is an actual master of it.
Yeah.
And I think everyone else is a fucking pretender, and that is. Don't get me wrong. I've seen it done well, but I just honest God tier is Quentin. And that is using music that juxtaposes against the background of what's going on. Like there was, what film was I was watching the other day, and they did the whole intro music was an upbeats. You know what? It's an upcoming film, Shut In or something, where a girl's locked in a pantry. And they did this thing where they play a very upbeat song, but they play it slowly. So now it's scary. Yeah. No, but Quentin Tarantino was just excellent at picking an actual song, like a popular song, and putting it against something that's really both suitable and unsuitable. And people just like that. They're like, oh, let's do that. And now they just throw songs in. It just feels like they just say, like, throw songs in. Just throw in REM's Shiny Happy People, but have it against the background of, people, you know, the most dark demonic shit. And it's not art. Actually, it is when you get it right. Yeah. But when you just seem to just pick something that doesn't fit against something that does, that would, no, it's not fucking art, man. And this film did not hit that button at all.
Okay, so like one thing I said to you when we were chatting while I was watching and you were watching it was, what is the need for James Wan when he has serial killers in his stories to, number one, ring people? I know this is telepathically, but with a fucking gruffy voice or whatever, like no, it's like John Kramer all over again. But like
you mentioned how Tom Waits, that poor motherfucker, anytime he actually just calls someone just to see, I was just wondering how you were doing. Like, who is this? My dad's upstairs and he's like 300 pounds. But, you know, like,
why does he have to make it so complicated? Like in Saw, all those fucking different traps we spoke about before and how overcomplicated they became. But like when you look at like how easy it is to have just a knife, why does it have to be a part of the trophy, and then it has to weld it and shape it, and then later on the way they store the knife is like sticking it in a block of wood because it looks cool. Like it's just so
the award was obviously given to the doctor who a big part of her life's work was getting rid of him, and now I'm using the very thing she was awarded probably for destroying me is now my weapon. Did you see how that works? Like artistically, do you see how that works? To me, like the thing that was used against me now is now my weapon.
It's like
I'm surprised the demon didn't just wink, look at the camera from the back of her head and just go like, wink. See what I'm doing here?
To me, this felt like more of like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, like.
What a twist!
Yeah, it didn't. It felt like kind of like sometimes when you watch a movie from a director, and I felt like every time they said they wanted to do something, nobody said no.
You know what? I've seen exactly that kind of film you're talking about. But you know, when you watch a film and you're thinking sometimes, they didn't land it. I see, and do you ever feel sorry for films? And I see what we're going for, but I see its shortcomings. And if I was, because that's it, we're all like armchair. I'm an armchair Liverpool coach. I'm an armchair director. I'm an armchair absolutely everything.
Armchair
but at the same
stalker.
Yeah, of course. And it's easy to be. Well, no. That's more feet on the ground. This Facebook era, the art is gone. You know. But
I'm a track and trace kind of guy, whatever.
But there's sometimes you feel sorry for it. You just kind of see what they were going for. But this one, no, I felt like you'd be sitting there thinking, eventually you're making the movie, right? And you're sitting there going, right. So, and this is the scene where it's not, right. It's able to control radio waves and technology for reasons that we don't have to ever touch on. It's the devil. It's an imaginary friend. Right. So this is the scene where we make it backhead cancer. Right. My name goes on this. My name. Can I use a pseudonym? No. Can't use a pseudonym. Right. Right. So backhead cancer. There just has to be. It was like it reminds me of Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah. And I remember like when that came out, I watched it and they killed Johnny Cage at the very first second. And you're welcome.
I've seen it, don't worry.
And the Raiden changed like actor and stuff, and you were thinking like, wow, okay, like these people literally read this and bailed, like just bailed en masse. No way, this is too stupid and too terrible. And this would feel like the kind of script where you would, don't get me wrong, if I was a working actor, then I do it because it's a paying job, of course. But I was just, did you not feel like this was there to unravel. And I think James Wan is better than that. I think he's better than that.
Yeah, I think it could be in the case of a lot of studio executives probably saw the script, read the script.
Spider-Man 3.
And no, I don't think they got involved. I think it was the exact opposite. I think they were like, James, we don't get it, but you're James Wan. You know what I mean? We don't get it, but we're going to let you make the movie you want to make. And I just don't.
Then you make this work for me in my head. I respect the man.
Yeah, no.
At a certain point, this movie got so lost.
Oh, it's a terrible film. Don't get me wrong.
It's a terrible film.
It's a terrible film. Like, as I said, it doesn't know what it is tonally. Like, it's like a lot of people say.
Or anyway.
Yeah, but a lot of people come to his defense and say that was trying to capture the giallo style from the old Italian horrors. How? How? Like, you know,
no, I don't accept that on any level.
Yeah, either do I think I don't know. At the start, it was like it was a possession movie, and then it was like you thought it was a haunting, and then you just thought like it was like all in her head, and it was like as I said, it kind of smacked to me like what M. Night Shyamalan did when he was kind of floundering a little bit, where he was just like, I need to get more twists in. I need to get more twists in. I need red herrings. I need all the herrings. I need 17 red herrings before I get to my final twist. But you see that twist? That's not really the twist. You know, the next twist that I was about to see? That's not actually the twist either. The final
twist. And as the credits comes up, or was it?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think it was a case of maybe James Wan had a lot of ideas, and he wasn't really sure which one to settle on, and he tried to go for all of them at the same time, and nobody said no to him. But I think a lot of people might have said, we don't get it, but we understand you're James Wan. So we're going
the visual, because when it came down to that prison scene, jailbreak / execution of an entire sheriff's office, whatever.
Mass homicide, whatever.
Well, you know, that's what it was. It wasn't
it was slaughter.
Wait, you go to jail before prison, or you go to prison before jail?
No,
that's jail before prison.
That's called a holding cell.
Yeah, but that's jail. It can be like inside of an institution or whatever.
Yeah, that's not really jail.
But it was like that. They were probably thinking like, yeah, this is going to lose some people, but we are going to make this visually spectacular. And sometimes, like, you know, we talk about Avatar, we talk about the visuals, and it is like, when it's done so well, it is a part of the story, it's a part of the art, and the visuals for that were kind of like grotesque, over the top, and I loved it. It was stupid.
Did you think anyone realized when they were concocting this story that backward martial arts looks absolutely fucking dumb as fuck? Like, looks dumb as fuck. It's one of the dumbest concepts.
Arts would be called straw. That's nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, it's not even a word, James Wan. It's not even a word.
And I don't know what martial is backwards. I'm not. But no, it was a whole thing where she was bought like the purpose. Like, it was supposed to have the whole. It was like that psycho energy, right? It was like, please get out. If you know, but this is what I mean. This is how pathetic it is. It's going for like, oh, please, oh, Vinnie, I need you to leave. I need you to be safe. There's something terrible going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, Vinnie, you know, and then the bad guy. But I'm so deep in my own psychosis.
Yeah.
But this was taking it to the nth degree in kind of a very, very Michael. No, Mike, it's not even fair. Wes Anderson. I think.
When I was watching it, I was like, I was like, what the
This
fuck?
was Vinny's idea. I want this very much so understood.
No, yeah, when I was watching it, all I could figure out when I saw the backward martial arts, all I could think was Freddy Got Fingered with Tom Green. When he's like, I'm the backwards man, backwards
man.
Yeah, but like, I just thought like that. They came up with this story. They thought it was an interesting idea, but I'm not sure if they really took
or did they?
Yeah, I'm just not sure if they really took into account how it would look on screen and how ridiculous those scenes were when they played out to the viewers. Because I know a lot of people like this movie, and you can come to its defense if you want. You're entitled to your opinion, but I can't see many redeemable qualities in this film because it just looks so silly. You got this main villain that's supposed to be this like epitome of evil dead. It's all of a sudden telepathic. Like, for some reason, a massive tumor in the back of this girl's brain makes her telepathic, makes her superpowered, makes her able to do backward martial arts. It makes her able to rip open the back of her skull at will and able to
and repair it at will.
Yeah, you know.
So don't forget, like, she wakes up and there's like blood on her pillow, and we think it's the abusive boyfriend.
I don't
but like, and she's just like, oh, but I'm fine now. No, I mean, be super. Like we like an explanation.
Yeah.
We 2 podcasts ago, back in the long time ago, we did Scream.
Yeah, that was
and we were saying that if you remember way back when.
I don't, and I prefer not to.
But it's all about the explanation, and this thing had literally no explanation.
Like with demonic,
it was like. And when you do a reveal, as in like the thing is your reveal, but your reveal makes no sense. No, now I've seen reveals that don't make sense, but I've never seen a reveal that doesn't make sense on as many levels.
How did the reveal hit you in that moment? Did you laugh? Did you like?
Oh, I laughed. No, I laughed. I just laughed. No, I have to be completely honest with you. Yeah. I watched this not long before we went live, and I had to stop and I had to go collect my fiance Sheila uptown, and we went and did a job or two, and I said, I have to finish off this fucking stupid film before I go on with Vin. And she was just like, I have to do bits and bobs. So it was actually quite tight before we got back, because you had to go to a couple of places, and just for those kind of errands that kind of you put off and you have to get to. And
so, I was late anyway, editing.
I was just like, fucking hell,
dark side.
I have to go back and watch this shite now. And I remember coming up the stairs, I had to say to her, like, because she was actually going to cook us food, and I said, I appreciate that, but I'm going to watch a film, and for the first time that actually feels like work. Like, I have to, work. I had to go up and press play, and it felt like work. And
the man, like, I almost nearly like talking about bad movies more than good movies at times, because there's
I've said that we fanboy way too much. I've said this to you off record.
We're lucky though.
You have delivered an absolute doozy, and I'm bitching and moaning, but I completely have to tip my cap to you. Now, by my God, did you bring me a doozy?
Every now and again, I'll bring you a weird movie.
Jokes aside, you brought me a doozy, and our content can't be like sucking the balls off films the entire time. But I'm angry. This film confused me so much. Like, be supernatural, be sci-fi, or be
something
at least scientific, but like this tried to be all things at once, and also it tried to pawn it off as an actual explanation when it was both supernatural. And when it was both sci-fi, when it was both, I don't know, I feel like I'm running out of words here.
I know.
Magic, maybe?
I could see you. I could see you floundering, and I was going to jump in. I was like, let him out.
Let him have it. But I was like, pick a lane. I just felt like it did not pick a lane. Was it like an ancient curse?
Yeah.
Was it supernatural? Was it a demon that you don't need explanation? I don't know.
Exactly what I'm saying. Like, it was
backwards kung fu.
Backwards kung fu. I think the problem with this movie is that, as a scientist, like James Wan, I think had a lot of ideas, and he just couldn't settle on one. And so he decided to make the ideas that he didn't settle on twists in the movie. So he probably wanted to do possession, maybe he wanted to do a haunted house, but he already did a possession movie in Insidious, a haunted house movie in Conjuring, so maybe he thought they'd make excellent red herrings. He was known for that, so let's bring him down the left-hand road, and in the right-hand road I'm going to have a backward kung fu malignant tumor growing out the back of this one's head, giving her telepathic superpowers. Like, that's literally the premise of the fucking movie. As I said, the premise of the movie.
Remember, it's now you're in my head, I'm in your head. I just saying powers is you in my head. That's our head. Remember? That's right. This is the end of the film.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
my powers, your powers, head. My powers, our powers.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like, I'm you, you're me. We're not so different, you and I. Now, powers mine.
Yeah.
Dibs on powers. What you mean? Oh, I'm going to lock you away my brain.
No, I dibs on powers now. But but obviously that you've had the main body, but I have had all the power. No. Dibs on powers. It's almost like. She's a superhero always, because she lifts that fucking hospital bed off your. I feel like if I came to your house to pick you up and bring you somewhere, and you kind of went shotgun, and I was like, "Well, my fiance usually gets shot. No shotgun." Okay, she's pretty adamant, because that was the energy. You know what I mean? Like, no, but like historically, the woman I'm going to marry is no shotgun.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Feel strongly about it. Like, I have to respect that.
It's actually like, no, I'm driving now.
At the end, like, I don't know. you know when a film is so fucking stupid, but at the same time you always think like it didn't have to be so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like not that stupid.
Yeah.
No, not a great film, but it didn't have to be that stupid. That film was, and it's the only word I have for it, is fucking like I could say
all the way
dumb.
stupid. Yeah, all the way dumb.
You know, I mean, all I'm doing is synonyms. It's just all the way fucking dumb. And you said this to me. You posed this to me, and I hadn't seen it, so I didn't have a dog in the fight. You said we should do this film. I said, yeah, sure. Like it's available on Prime.
Yeah.
And sure, I'll watch it. And you said, don't worry, you laugh at how bad it is. And that was true. To be fair to you, that was true. But I was aggravated by how bad it was as well. You didn't prepare me for that.
Yeah, I said it had to be seen to be believed. Remember, I said I wouldn't even show you a trailer because I just want you to go in unknown.
To be fair, you did. You said go in blind. I want you. You did. Yeah.
Because when I went to see Malignant, I thought I was going.
So did you go see? When you say go see, you went to see in the cinema?
Yeah, I saw it in the cinema. Yeah.
You poor son of a bitch.
Yeah, but I've limitless, so like it's like it doesn't cost any extra to go see it. So anytime there's a horror movie,
no, I get it. You just but you know you were there. And...
Yeah, no, I just laughed. Like one thing, I'll probably watch this movie again because it's so bad that I actually really, really enjoy watching it. I laughed so hard during it. And I think that this film was an interesting premise, you know, like the premise of cancer gives you superpowers, whatever the fuck that is. But like, I just thought they didn't understand how fucking dumb it looks. It looks so dumb, like so dumb. Like it's like the backward martial arts, the crab walking across the ground.
Why
like,
martial arts?
God. Yeah,
why martial arts?
Why telekinesis?
Like why somersaults and suddenly like the ability to like
backward matrix.
Don't get like even if you're fast.
Yeah,
like you know, if I come up across a very young, nimble fucking dude, I'm sure he'd be faster than me. I'm sure he'd be stronger than me. You'd have that, but like it doesn't necessarily mean karate. It doesn't necessarily mean like somersaults and being able to like outrun bullet. Like there was nothing. Yeah. There was so many things that there wasn't grounds for.
Yeah,
honest to God, it was written by a porn director.
Why do you think they went that avenue when it was so easily that this film could have been a lot more plausible if they're trying to root it in this whole it's a real thing, the carcinoma thing. But like if they just lose the whole martial arts thing, the whole superhero aspects, this whole superhuman aspects, and just have it a point that it's like a tumor that is controlling her in the same way like a split personality was, and she's just losing time, and you just kind of had that more of an inner struggle instead of having this whole backward matrix fucking nonsense. Like, do you think it would be better if they kept it more grounded? Like, do you think you would have bought it more if you didn't have backward martial arts? Something saying.
Yeah, I know. Like, actually, to be honest with you, you were actually posing your question quite well, but it does boil down to the stupidest fucking thing you've ever said in your life. But like, yeah, I do like. Don't get me wrong. Like, okay. The film, for anyone who's a first-time listener, thank you for joining us. But the film that, like, you know, I like this film more than Vinnie, and Vinnie likes the film more than me. The film that joins us is The Thing.
Yeah,
that's the film that joins us.
It's the greatest horror movie of all time. Probably.
It's the greatest horror movie of all time. This is absolutely what joins us, and we agree. We agree more often than not, but we deviate because we're film fans, and that's what we do.
Yeah, and I better taste me, whatever. No biggie.
So I love a good horror. I was one second behind the clock on that one. But I do. I love a good monster reveal. I love a good body horror. I love a grotesque, like the joints are now going to fucking change. And the thing, it made sense. I mean, you know. Yeah. But this just felt like now this.
Yeah.
Honest to God, it felt like they got the guys who wrote The Thing with the guys who made A Fish Called Wanda, Monty Python. And they just had them make a movie together, as in one person who was, I feel like you put a genius in a room who had to co-write a script to a guy who was genuinely there to sabotage.
But you know, like James Wan's there because someone co-wrote with James Wan. James Wan's just like putting all these good ideas and just like, no, dude, just listen for a sec. Imagine if he could just like telepathically communicate.
Yeah, no, you listening?
Yeah, telepathically, telepathically communicate, right? Know what I'm saying? And think about this, right? What if it gives you like the physical strength of like 12 men? And she can like
I feel like the guy, the same energy in the same room. He goes, right, and here's my idea. So Thanos grabs the Infinity Gauntlet and says, fine, I'll do it myself. No. He grabs the Infinity Gauntlet and he goes, what the?
I'm coming after y'all.
Like literally, like there was one dude genuinely who got 51% say, who got to just like was there just to drive this shit into the ground. This felt intentionally bad at times.
No, I think it's actually the exact opposite. I think it's completely unintentionally bad. Like I actually,
don't say that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. I think they thought they were making
Vin.
something really cool.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm just saying the words you're saying make me feel sad.
Yeah, it's like the sequel to the Matrix. They thought they were making something inherently cool, but they're making something.
To be fair, when you sold this to me about like being a thing that we do, to be fair, you did say like it's that like sorry that the comedy did come from the fact that it wasn't comedy.
Yeah,
they weren't the words you used, but. Yeah, no, to be fair to you, you did kind of prose it to me that way.
So we looked at this fucking crazy movie, right? We weighed up all the different things that we thought were insane about it. But when you look at the big monster reveal, because we've kind of touched on it, but we haven't really like kind of got stuck into it. I want to use that as our final point and then we get the fuck out of here. But what did you make of the big reveal? I know you said you laughed, but the design of the creature, because the big thing is the creature feature in a lot of ways. What you make of the design of the creature, and then the implementation of the creature itself as it gets.
I found okay. The reveal was fucking stupid. It's just a word. But I did love some of the like, because eventually, you know, when you just give it up on something and then you're just like, why not? Why not?
You do you.
I am very much so not involved in what's going on here. I checked out quite some time ago. But now, like, oh, cool. Are like 25 people going to die in a scene? Because I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah.
But no, I thought the reveal was absolutely dumb. I thought that as a creature, it failed. I feel like it tried to tap into so many industries of horror, like some genres of horror.
Yeah.
And I was actually, which is a strange way to put it, but I was impressed by how many it managed to touch on.
Yeah.
But disgusted by how many it managed to fail upon.
Yeah. I was impressed by how often you tried, but also disgusted by how often you failed.
Yeah. What about you? Sum up this movie's experience for yourself.
No, I think like one thing I love is when someone happens upon old videotapes or old medical experiments or again exams and shit like that, and it can be a really chilling moment in the movie if it's done correctly. This moment didn't have that. I burst my whole laughing when I seen it in the cinema the first time. I knew it was coming. The second time I was laughing in anticipation of the reveal.
Dead ass expression of the woman when she's like not in charge.
Yeah,
like just her dead ass head.
Yeah,
going around.
Even the creature sticking out the back of her head when she was a child before they did the surgery. It just none of its reveals really hit home, and the way it implemented those kind of the ingredients, or for lack of a better term, it was just poorly done. As I said, I think it was just an unintentionally bad movie. It took itself really seriously, and even when it was taking itself seriously, it came across as almost satire, spoofish. Like everything was wooden, didn't land well. The casting was poor, nobody suited the roles. The premise was insane, and I think he came up with something. He felt that it would look a specific way and it would come across in a certain way. And to me, it came across as cartoonish, outlandish nonsense. And the fact that he thinks that cancer gives you superpowers would be a good premise for any kind of movie is fucking mind-boggling. Backward martial arts is something that will live with me till the day I die, and I know for a fact I'll be watching this movie many times just to watch that climactic scene.
You know what? I was again. I told you I popped out to pick up the missus. I said, "Oh my god, this is like the worst job I've ever been given. I have to finish this fucking movie." And now the point I came back and went up to finish it.
Yeah,
I'm making her watch it. You know, like this thing that I said I would completely save her from, that she never has to touch. And then I came up and I had to go watch from the backhead kung fu onwards. I was like, oh no, bitch, watching that.
So, like, what do you think? Do you think we'll see a Malignant expanded universe?
God, I actually think like it was a self-fulfilling prophecy that the absolute universe is Malignant, and it just like let's cut out the cancer.
part 2 is going to be called metastasizing or something.
Part 2 should be called "We're Sorry."
We're sorry.
Like, you know, although I had a, you know, it has sorry.
Yeah, sorry. But what do you think? It failed miserably, and will you rewatch it?
Yes, I'll rewatch it, and yes, it failed spectacularly on so many fronts. That's why it makes it rewatchable.
And do you think it was intentional or unintentional?
Oh, completely unintentional. If I'm forced to actually address it, I know I do. I think it was. I think like when the brother demon devil
Gabriel,
Gabriel, but like he was everything. He was the demon devil named after an archangel. Fucking everything. You know, like really overtly everything.
Yeah.
I think when he comes out with the back of her head and he really takes over, I don't know. It lost all semblance of kind of anything.
I think it's the clearest case of people not understanding how an idea has to be transported from inception to the screen, and it just looks so fucking dumb. like it's like there's no time in that movie where I'm scared of Gabriel because I'm too busy laughing my ass off at him.
It just is an uncomfortable thing to when I remember watching, there's some fucking dude who's a little fucking bitchy rich boy, and he met a comic series, and he'd end up go to do some terrible things, but when he was asked about it, he goes, "Oh, it's about scale." He goes, "But can you imagine that there's 2 planets intertwined and that there is this mesh that can hold 100 helicopters?"
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you're trying to sell your story and you're literally trying to sell it on scope. You insane motherfucker.
So, no, before we get the fuck out of here, you gonna go watch Malignant some more?
I'm gonna make her watch the last. I'm sorry, I am. I'm gonna make her watch the last 10 minutes. If I had to, she has to.
Yeah, and if I say to anyone, it's not a great movie, but if you want to see one of the most batshit crazy films with the most batshit crazy climaxes ever,
you just should. I hate saying it.
You have to go out there. You have to watch this movie because
don't pay for it.
Yeah, don't pay for it.
Just don't pay. Except pay for it, and that's a joke.
Yeah. Definitely pay for it.
Brought to you by our sponsor, Wink.
Yeah, so like if you want to see someone do backwards martial arts and got superpowers from having a fucking malignant tumor in the back of their head.
Yeah, an absolute horrible malignant tumor gives you superpowers. If that's not a thing that's upsetting to you, because it's extremely upsetting to me.
So so this was the Vision of Body Snatchers. I'm your host, Vincent Green.
And I'm your host, Noel and Vinnie.
And that was the batshit crazy Malignant. See you next time, motherfuckers. Peace.
Yo, she bitch. Let's go.